Warning, banks are doing the unthinkable, and this is only just the beginning. They're calling it a simplification of the savings tax system. But in a few years' time, you'll remember it as the day the government found a legal way to reach directly into your savings accounts and take your money. What began as a 22 billion black hole for the government has now ballooned to an apparent 50 billion pounds, and their solution is to dig into your wallet. More taxes, work harder, work longer, and while you watch others get given everything for nothing right in front of your eyes. And if you say anything against it, you're what's wrong with society, apparently. And if you're wondering why the media isn't shouting about this new draconian overreach by the government, it's because they're part of the problem. Selling this to the public as an equitable solution to make sure everything is fair. They call it streamlining, they call it fairness, but what they've really built is a financial backdoor into your life, and once it's in place, they can use it for far more than just taxing your savings. So when does all of this start then, you may ask? Well, from April 2027, the UK's savings tax system changes completely. Right now, if you earn interest above your personal savings allowance, you report it yourself, usually through self-assessment or something like that. You've got time to plan, you've got time to prepare. Here's where it changes. Under the new rules, your bank will report your savings directly to HMRC, which is His Majesty's Revenue and Customs, and the tax will be taken automatically from you. What does that mean then? No warning letter, no annual bill, no opportunity to move your money or adjust your finances in any way, and with no explanation beyond just the line, tax adjustment is what it will most likely say. And if you think about what your allowances are, they're quite pitiful. If you're paying a basic rate of tax, your allowance will be £1,001. If you're on the higher rate of tax, it's just £500. And if you're on the additional rate, it's £0. So this is the building of an automated revenue collection network, one that's going to remove you entirely from the process. If you saw my breakdown on the government's pension reforms, you'll know this is stage 2 in the same pattern. What's step 1? Seize indirect control over your pensions, forcing investments into politically chosen domestic projects without your say, even though it's your money, consolidating retirement savings into mega funds because the government needs your money more than you do, apparently, and chipping away at the tax perks on pensions and ISAs, which are your individual savings accounts, because it's equitable to share your savings with others. The word equitable really does make me sick every time I hear it. It sounds nice on the surface, but is actually a heavily socialist, communist dream straight out of the playbook of the WEF. These unelected bureaucrats that go around telling everybody how they should be more equitable and create a more equitable world. These people that control everything from high. The world doesn't work like that. Step 2 then, extend that infrastructure to personal savings. Check. And while you're here, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Just takes a second. You'll get plenty of videos like this. And step 3 here is to expand it to anything they can justify. ISAs, pension withdrawals, capital gains, even property equity. If it has value, unrealized or not, they're going to tax it eventually. But let me tell you, there is a solution to this challenge. What if I told you that you could avoid the savings account system altogether, if you wanted to, or even partly by turning some of your pensions, your savings, into physical gold and silver legally, all legal within your own pension? Let me ask you this. What if you could take your savings out of and your pension out of the government's grasp and protect it from all of these hidden taxes, secure it in assets they can't touch? Would that interest you? Because here's the truth. You're relying on a system where your wealth is tied to fiat currency. Fiat, let it be so, the Latin, it's worthless. And these empty promises, instead of having real tangible assets that they can't touch, they can't take, they can't destroy through these dystopian policies. And this is only going to get worse, by the way. I've helped a lot of people legally move their wealth into gold and silver without paying ridiculous dealer premiums or falling for, online scams or anything like that. With all of my programs, as many of you will know who have taken them, they are easy to follow step-by-step systems to safeguard your money from government overreach with practical, proven strategies that you can use immediately. Hundreds of testimonials. There's no complex investing, no risky speculation, and no trusting politicians with your future. It's just a really clear path to building a private portable store of wealth on your own terms. And you'll go from having your hard-earned savings trapped in these taxable high-risk accounts to actually holding assets that have outlasted every currency, every government in history, thousands of years. So, final point on this, don't wait for the government to fix this. It's not going to happen. They won't fix it. They're only going to keep breaking it. And I would say definitely take control back. Now, this stuff is the real deal. Your gold and silver. And in the program, I'll teach you exactly what to buy, where to buy it from, because it is important to know exactly. There's so much to learn, and there's a lot of different coins, a lot of different bars, a lot of different options. There's a lot to learn. And we go over all sorts, everything from pensions. We go into advanced stuff for those of you that want to do that. Fundamentals, technical analysis. We have a geologist, and we have all these gold CEOs and all these other companies that are on there. The top experts in the world help you to protect your savings. Honestly, don't rely on this government. And because I'm still filming the latter part of the advanced course, it means you still get a pre-filming discount. As you know, my pre-filming discounts are always 90% off up until the time when the course releases. So head down to the description now, have a look at the program, see what you think of it. And if you like it, go ahead, move forward with it. The link is below in the description. Now, the numbers don't lie, okay? Moving back to what we're talking about here. 3.35 million savers will have taxable savings income this year. 2.64 million will pay tax on it. That's up 120,000 from last year, according to statistics from The Independent. The number of people paying the highest rate of income tax has exploded from 236,000 in 2010 to 1.2 million in 2025. And it's heading for 1.7 million in the next few years, which is staggering. So the UK faces as we mentioned, a 51.1 billion fiscal gap over the next few years. And they say meaning moderate but sustained tax increases. They love that word, sustainability. They are even saying now, which is scary, that they might go back as far as 20 years to actually collect taxes from anyone who dodged taxes, because it's the equitable thing to do. I was reading this statement from a former cabinet minister, and he said this is overreach by HMRC. The state is becoming more and more intrusive, and this is just another example of it. Well, I'll say one thing for Rachel Reeves. I don't know many people with her incredible ability and skill to take a £22 billion black hole and more than double it. Yes, the 51 billion black hole the government says it now needs to fill by collecting extra taxes. They're even starting to blame the wealthy for leaving the country with their money, rather than admitting that they chased them out with their policies. No, it's the rich people, or and rich doesn't mean super rich, by the way. It just means anyone with more than £100,000. You don't have to be rich for this to affect you. If you've got a rainy day fund, a house deposit account, or just some emergency cash in a high interest saver, you're in the target zone as well. Even if you're under the limit now, inflation and frozen allowances mean you could get hit without realizing. And when you do, the government won't ask you for payment. They will just take it from your account or from your paycheck, as it were. And the thing is, once you accept that as normal, it becomes easy to extend this same system to all sorts of other things. That's what we're seeing. They're extending all of these things and normalizing that. What about your ISAs, your individual savings account, for fairness, your pension withdrawals for stability, capital gains for growth of the country? The hidden danger is coming, and it's happening really fast. Just last week we covered the Online Safety Act, where they've built a censorship infrastructure and rolled it out very, very quickly. This is financial surveillance that they're doing now. Banks will be required to give all of your personal information, national insurance number, for every one of your accounts that you have from 2027. They have to create a centralized database linking all of your accounts together. The government says it's to make enforcement easier, but enforcement is just the foot in the door, really. Once this infrastructure exists, it can be repurposed very quickly, very quietly. And when the central bank digital currency launches, they have got you, if you know what I'm saying. They have got you then. So what's in the pipeline next, you might wonder? Well, they're not stopping with the savings accounts. This has been confirmed. It's been confirmed and in discussions right now. A gambling levy on the 11.5 billion industry, that's out of The Guardian. Wealth surcharge, 2% annual tax on anyone who has fortunes over £10 million. So this is annually, 2%. Tighter pension and ISA reliefs for most of you watching. So smaller allowances, and they're just going to keep going after you. That's out of Money Week. Capital gains and inheritance tax reforms, reduce thresholds, reduce reliefs, VAT expansion. They want to cut exemptions to hit more everyday spending. They are really going after everything imaginable. They're really doubling down because they blame this black hole on the last government. Well, the last government left them with 22, they've made it 50. I mean, this month alone has revealed where your money is already being spent as well. Think of the New Ireland deal, 40 million for resettlement, the asylum hotels, absolutely millions per day, billions it's costing. They say they haven't got the money, they need to plug the hole. Well, there's all sorts of ways to plug that hole. The UK's foreign aid budget now is not actually going out there to the world and helping people around the world. It's a lot of it is over 30% now is being spent on hotels. So that is what they are doing. Your council tax is set to rise by up to £500 by 2028 as well. Inheritance tax changes hitting the farmers, hitting all sorts of people. And the way to think of it is they've kind of built this back door now, and they can open it whenever they want. And every taxpayer watching is the subject. The pattern's really clear with what they're doing. Your pensions, your savings, all these other wealth taxes that they're going to put on people. Even people who aren't wealthy, they're going to class people as wealthy. Meanwhile, the government's wasting huge fortunes on things that the people simply don't want and actually harm the people. So if you don't want to wake up and find every income stream skimmed before you touch it, now is really the time to act. Spread the word, let other people know about it as well. Diversify your assets. Keep some of your wealth outside of government reach. Because once you normalize automatic access to your accounts, you're never going to get that control back. Government takes control, they never give it back. Gold and silver solves this problem, even inside of a pension. Yes, I'll show you how to do that legally, because this is real money kept outside the system. It's privately held outside the system. And I'll show you how to do this easily, step by step, in my gold and silver program. Grab it now while it's on sale and save yourself a lot of money. In fact, save twice, once on the course and then save yourself from the government overreach. Thank you so much for being a subscriber here. Take care. God bless you and your family. I'll see you on the next one.